Welcome back to my channel, Learning English Level 3. Today we are going to learn about the amazing life story of Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists in the world. This story is not just about science. It is about hard work, patience, and never giving up on your dreams. This video will help you feel motivated. It will also help you improve your English listening and understanding with simple and clear sentences. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel because your support means a lot and helps me create more helpful videos for you. Now let's start this inspiring journey together. The early life of Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in the city of Ulm in Germany. He was born into a simple family. His father, Hermann Einstein, was an engineer and a businessman. His mother, Pauline Einstein, loved music and learning. She later helped young Albert develop a love for the violin and quiet thinking. Their home was not rich, but it was full of care, discipline, and curiosity. As a baby, Einstein looked very calm and silent. He did not speak as early as other children. His parents felt worried about this. Some people even thought he might have a learning problem. But inside his quiet mind, many thoughts were growing. He liked to observe things carefully. He watched people, sounds, light, and movement. He was slow to speak but deep in thinking. When Einstein was about 5 years old, his father showed him a small compass. The needle inside the compass always moved in one direction. This surprised him greatly. He could not see the force that moved the needle, but he knew it was real. This moment created a strong curiosity in his heart. He began to wonder about invisible forces in nature. This small event became one of the first sparks of his scientific journey. Einstein started school in Munich. The school was very strict. Teachers expected students to follow rules without asking questions. Einstein did not enjoy this style of learning. He preferred to understand ideas instead of memorizing words. Because of this, some teachers thought he was not a good student. They believed he would not achieve much in life. These words were painful, but they did not stop his curiosity. At home, Einstein learned in a different way. His mother encouraged music practice. Playing the violin helped him think calmly and deeply. Music became a lifelong friend to him. He also read books about mathematics and science. Numbers and patterns made sense to him. He could spend many hours solving problems with great focus and joy. When Einstein became older, his family faced business problems and moved to Italy. This was a difficult change. He had to leave his school and friends behind. Later, he continued his studies in Switzerland. There he found a more open learning environment. Teachers allowed students to think freely. This helped Einstein grow with confidence. He slowly discovered his true love for mathematics and physics. Even in his early years, Einstein showed an important lesson. Success does not always begin with praise. Sometimes it begins with doubt, silence, and struggle. What matters most is curiosity and patience. His childhood was not perfect or easy, yet his questions were powerful. His quiet thinking became his greatest strength. The early life of Albert Einstein teaches us something beautiful. A slow start does not mean a weak future. A quiet child can carry loud dreams. Small moments like a simple compass can change a whole life. If we stay curious and keep learning, our future can also become extraordinary. Quiet child with big questions. Albert Einstein was a very quiet child. He did not like loud noise or busy crowds. He preferred calm places where he could sit and think. Many people around him did not understand this silence. Some thought he was slow. Others believed he was not very smart. But inside his quiet mind, powerful questions were growing every day. Einstein started speaking much later than most children. His parents felt worried. They wondered if something was wrong. But when he finally began to talk, his words were clear and thoughtful. He did not speak much, yet he always tried to understand things deeply. This showed that silence does not mean weakness. Sometimes silence hides strong thinking. As a young boy, Einstein loved to observe the world around him. He watched light coming through windows. He looked at the sky, the stars, and the movement of clouds. Simple things made him curious. He wanted to know why they happened. He often asked questions that other children did not ask. Questions like, "What is light?" or "How does time move?" These were not easy questions even for adults. But his mind kept searching for answers to things people could not see. One special moment in his childhood changed his thinking forever. When he was about 5 years old, his father showed him a small compass. The needle inside always pointed in one direction. Einstein could not see what was pulling the needle, yet he knew a hidden force was there. This surprised him deeply. He began to believe that the universe had invisible rules. From that day he wanted to discover those rules. His big scientific journey quietly began with this small object. In school, Einstein was different from other students. He did not enjoy memorizing lessons. He wanted to understand the meaning behind them. Teachers often became frustrated with him because he asked too many questions. Some teachers even told him he would never become successful. These words could have broken his confidence. But Einstein kept thinking in his own way. His curiosity was stronger than criticism. At home, he found comfort in books and music. He loved reading mathematics and science books. Numbers felt like a secret language he could understand. He also played the violin, which helped him relax and think clearly. Music and science together shaped his peaceful and creative mind. They allowed his questions to grow instead of disappear. Einstein's childhood teaches us an important lesson. Being different is not a weakness. Asking questions is not a problem. In fact, great discoveries often begin with simple curiosity. Quiet child who keeps wondering about the world can one day change it. His life reminds us that we do not need to be loud to be powerful. We do not need early praise to succeed. What we truly need is curiosity, patience, and the courage to keep asking questions. Just like Einstein, even a silent mind can hold ideas that shine brighter than the stars. The compass that changed his life. When Albert Einstein was a small boy, something very simple happened that changed the direction of his whole life. He was only about 5 years old when his father showed him a small pocket compass. It looked like an ordinary object. It had a tiny needle inside that could move. But for young Einstein, this small compass was full of mystery and wonder. As he held the compass in his hands, he noticed something strange. No matter how he turned it, the needle always pointed in the same direction. He could not see anything pulling the needle. There was no rope, no hand, and no visible force. Yet the needle kept moving with perfect certainty. This surprised him deeply. his mind filled with questions that other children never thought about. Einstein began to wonder what invisible power was guiding the needle. He realized that there must be hidden forces in nature that people cannot see with their eyes. This idea was very powerful for a young child. It opened a new world inside his imagination. He started to believe that the universe was full of secrets waiting to be discovered. This small moment created a strong feeling of curiosity in his heart. He wanted to understand how the world truly worked. He wanted to find the rules behind nature, light, space, and time. The compass did not give him answers, but it gave him something more important. It gave him a lifelong question. And sometimes, a good question is more valuable than an easy answer. After this moment, Einstein looked at everything differently. The sky was no longer just blue. Light was no longer just bright. Time was no longer just passing. Everything became a mystery to explore. His thinking grew deeper and quieter. While other children played simple games, Einstein often spent time thinking about invisible forces and hidden laws of nature. This did not make him strange. It made him unique. The compass also taught an important lesson about learning. Great ideas do not always begin in big classrooms or famous laboratories. Sometimes they begin in small homes, with simple objects and quiet thoughts. A child holding a tiny compass can grow into a scientist who changes the world. This shows that inspiration can come from anywhere. Years later, Einstein would discover new truths about space, energy, and time. His ideas would transform science forever. But the first spark of that journey started with a small moving needle in a child's hand. Without that moment of wonder, the world might have shown a different path to him. This story reminds us to stay curious about simple things. We should not ignore small questions. Even the smallest mystery can lead to great discovery. When we look closely at the world and ask why, we begin the path of learning and growth. The compass that Einstein received was not just a gift. It was the beginning of a dream. It turned a quiet child into a lifelong thinker. And it proves that one small moment of curiosity can change an entire life forever. School struggles and strong curiosity. When Albert Einstein began going to school, learning did not feel easy or joyful for him. The schools in Germany at that time were very strict. Teachers expected students to sit quietly, follow rules, and repeat lessons exactly as they were taught. Students were not encouraged to ask many questions. But Einstein was different from other children. He did not like memorizing words without understanding their meaning. He wanted to know why things were true, not just what was written in books. Because of this, Einstein often struggled in school. Some teachers became impatient with him. They thought he was slow or disobedient. One teacher even told him that he would never become successful in life. These words were painful for a young child to hear. Many students might have lost confidence after such criticism. But Einstein's curiosity was stronger than the negative voices around him. Even though school felt difficult, his mind never stopped asking questions. He wondered about numbers, light, space, and time. Simple lessons in the classroom could not satisfy his deep thinking. Instead of giving up, he started learning in his own way. He spent time reading books at home, especially books about mathematics and science. Numbers made sense to him. Patterns and logic felt clear and beautiful. While other students studied only for exams, Einstein studied because he truly wanted to understand the world. His curiosity became his greatest strength. It pushed him forward even when teachers did not believe in him. This shows an important lesson. Success in learning does not always come from perfect school grades. Sometimes it comes from passion, patience, and independent thinking. Einstein's struggles were not signs of failure. They were signs that his mind worked differently. During his teenage years, Einstein's family moved away from Germany. This change was not easy, but it opened a new door. He later continued his education in Switzerland, where the learning environment was more open and friendly. Teachers there allowed students to think freely and explore ideas. For the first time, Einstein felt understood. His love for mathematics and physics grew stronger. He began to see a clear path for his future. Looking back, his school struggles were an important part of his journey. They taught him to believe in himself even when others doubted him. They taught him to learn with curiosity instead of fear. Most importantly, they showed that being different can lead to greatness. Einstein's story gives hope to every student who feels slow, confused, or misunderstood. Difficulty in school does not decide your future. What truly matters is your curiosity and your courage to keep learning. A questioning mind can travel farther than a silent one. In the end, the boy who struggled in strict classrooms became one of the greatest thinkers in human history. His strong curiosity turned weakness into power. And his journey reminds us that challenges in learning are not the end of the road. They are often the beginning of something extraordinary. Working in a small patent office. After finishing his studies, Albert Einstein hoped to become a teacher or a university professor. He loved mathematics and physics, and he wanted to share his ideas with students. But life did not move in the way he expected. He applied for many teaching jobs, yet no one offered him a position. This was a difficult and disappointing time. He felt worried about his future, just like many young people feel after completing their education. Instead of giving up, Einstein accepted a simple job in a patent office in the city of Bern, Switzerland. His work was not famous or exciting. Every day he sat at a desk and examined new inventions. People sent designs for machines, tools, and electrical devices. Einstein's duty was to read these ideas carefully and decide whether they were truly new and useful. The job required patience, clear thinking, and attention to detail. At first, this work seemed far away from his dream of becoming a great scientist. But something important was happening quietly. The patent office gave him something he had never had before: time to think. His job hours were steady, and when he finished his daily tasks, he could use the remaining time to study his own questions about the universe. During these quiet moments, Einstein thought deeply about light, motion, space, and time. He imagined how the world would look if someone could travel at the speed of light. He asked questions that most scientists had never asked. There were no big laboratories around him, no expensive equipment, and no famous teachers guiding him. Only a quiet desk, simple papers, and a powerful imagination. Yet this peaceful environment became the birthplace of ideas that would change science forever. Working in the patent office also trained his mind in a special way. Reading invention designs helped him learn how to think clearly and logically. He practiced explaining complex ideas in simple forms. This skill later helped him write scientific papers that the world could understand. What looked like an ordinary office job was actually preparing him for extraordinary discoveries. Many people believe success begins in grand places with perfect conditions. Einstein's life shows a different truth. Great ideas can grow in small rooms. Big dreams can live inside simple jobs. Your current situation does not limit your future. What matters is how you use your time, your thoughts, and your curiosity. In 1905, while still working in the patent office, Einstein wrote several scientific papers that shocked the world of physics. This year later became known as his miracle year. The young office worker, unknown to most people, suddenly became one of the most important thinkers in history. His quiet thinking had turned into powerful discovery. The story of Einstein in the small patent office is deeply motivational. It teaches patience during slow seasons of life. It teaches faith when doors remain closed. Most importantly, it teaches that dreams do not wait for perfect moments. They grow wherever curiosity is alive. So whenever life feels ordinary or difficult, remember Einstein at his simple desk in Bern. The world saw only a clerk checking papers. But inside that quiet room, a brilliant future was being written, one thought at a time. The year that changed science forever. In the year 1905, something extraordinary happened in the life of Albert Einstein. At that time, he was still a young man working quietly in a small patent office in Switzerland. He was not famous. He did not work in a big laboratory. Many people in the scientific world did not even know his name. Yet inside his mind, powerful ideas were growing. This single year would later be called the year that changed science forever. During 1905, Einstein wrote 4 scientific papers that completely transformed the way people understood the universe. These papers were not simple thoughts. They answered deep questions about light, energy, motion, and the nature of reality. What made this even more surprising was that he worked on these ideas alone, in his free time, without the support of a university or a large research team. One of his papers explained the photoelectric effect, showing that light behaves not only like a wave but also like tiny particles. This discovery was very important for modern technology. It later helped create devices such as solar panels and electronic sensors. Because of this work, Einstein received the Nobel Prize in Physics many years later. Another paper introduced the world to his famous idea of special relativity. This idea changed how people understood space and time. Before Einstein, scientists believed time moved the show same way for everyone. Einstein showed that time can move differently depending on speed. This was a shocking and beautiful new way to see the universe. It proved that reality is deeper and more mysterious than people once believed. In the same year, Einstein also wrote the equation that became one of the most famous formulas in history. E equals mc superscript 2. This simple equation showed that energy and matter are connected. A small amount of matter can become a huge amount of energy. Though the formula looks short and easy, its meaning is powerful. Changed physics forever and later influenced science, technology, and even world history. What makes the year 1905 truly inspiring is not only the discoveries, but how they happened. Einstein was not rich. He was not famous. He did not have perfect conditions. He simply had curiosity, imagination, and deep focus. While the world saw an ordinary office worker, he was quietly solving the greatest mysteries of nature. This teaches a strong lesson for all of us. Great success does not always begin with recognition. Sometimes it begins in silence, patience, and hard thinking. One focused year of effort can change an entire life. One brave idea can change the whole world. After 1905, Einstein's name slowly became known across the scientific community. People began to realize that a new genius had appeared. The quiet man from the patent office had opened a new chapter in human knowledge. The year that changed science forever reminds us to believe in our ideas, even when no one is watching. Your present situation does not define your future. With passion, learning, and courage, even an ordinary year can become a miracle year. The meaning of E equals mc squared. The equation E equals mc squared is one of the most famous formulas in the world. It was written by Albert Einstein in 1905. First, it looks very short and simple. It has only 3 letters and 1 number. But behind this small equation is a very powerful idea that changed science forever. In this formula, E means energy, M means mass, which is the amount of matter in an object. The letter C means the speed of light. The speed of light is extremely fast. It is about 300,000 kilometers per second. In the equation, the speed of light is multiplied by itself, which is written as C superscript 2. This makes the number very large. Einstein's great discovery was this: mass and energy are not separate things. They are actually 2 forms of the same reality. A small amount of mass can turn into a huge amount of energy. This idea was completely new at that time. Before Einstein, scientists believed mass and energy were different and unrelated. His equation showed a deep connection inside nature. To understand this more simply, imagine a tiny piece of matter. It may look small and quiet, but inside it, there is a hidden ocean of energy. Because the speed of light squared is such a big number, even a little mass holds enormous power. This is why the equation became so important in physics. The meaning of E equals mc squared helped scientists understand the universe better. It explained how stars, including our sun, produce light and heat. Inside the sun, small particles of matter change into energy. That energy travels through space and reaches Earth as sunlight. So in a way, this simple equation helps explain why life exists on our planet. However, this discovery was not only beautiful. It was also powerful and dangerous. The same idea later helped create nuclear energy and nuclear weapons. This shows that knowledge itself is neutral, can be used for peace or for harm. Einstein himself believed strongly in peace. He was worried when his ideas were used for war. This reminds us that science must always be guided by wisdom and humanity. There is also a deeper lesson in this equation. It teaches us that small things can hold great power. Something tiny can create something enormous. This idea is not only true in physics, it is also true in life. A small dream can become a great success. A small step can begin a long journey. A quiet student can grow into a world-changing thinker. Einstein's equation shows the beauty of simple thinking. He used clear imagination to discover a truth hidden in the universe. He proved that you do not always need many words to express a great idea. Sometimes the simplest sentence carries the greatest meaning. So when we see E equals mc squared, we should remember more than science. We should remember curiosity, courage, and responsibility. We should remember that knowledge has power. And most importantly, We should remember that even the smallest idea in a curious mind can shine bright enough to change the world. Fame, Nobel Prize, and simple living. After the powerful discoveries of 1905, Albert Einstein slowly became known in the world of science. At first, only a few scientists understood how important his ideas were. But as years passed, more people began to see the beauty and truth in his work. Universities invited him to teach. Researchers discussed his theories. His name started to travel across countries. The quiet man from the small patent office was becoming one of the most famous thinkers on earth. With fame came many honors. The greatest of these was the Nobel Prize in Physics, which Einstein received in 1921. Interestingly, he did not win the prize for the equation E=mc² or relativity, even though those ideas were revolutionary. He won it for explaining the photoelectric effect, which helped scientists understand the true nature of light. This discovery later became important for modern technology, including solar energy and electronic devices. The Nobel Prize confirmed that Einstein's ideas were not only creative but also deeply true. Even after receiving the highest honor in science, Einstein's personality did not change. He remained a simple and humble man. He did not care much about expensive clothes or luxury living. He often wore plain sweaters and simple shoes. His hair looked messy, and he did not try to appear important. For him, comfort and thinking were more valuable than style or status. Einstein also believed that fame should not separate a person from humanity. He spoke kindly to students, children, and ordinary people. He answered letters sent by strangers. He enjoyed explaining science in simple words so everyone could understand. This shows that true greatness is not only about intelligence. It is also about kindness and humility. During this time, Einstein used his voice to support peace and human rights. He spoke against war and violence. Having lived through difficult times in Europe, he understood the pain caused by conflict. He believed science should help humanity grow, not destroy itself. His message was clear. Knowledge must be guided by compassion. Although the world saw him as a genius, Einstein continued living a quiet and thoughtful life. He loved playing the violin in peaceful moments. Music helped him relax and think deeply. He enjoyed walking, reading, and simple conversations. These small joys kept his mind calm even while the world praised him loudly. Einstein's life during fame teaches an important lesson. Success does not have to change who you are. You can reach the highest level and still stay humble. You can become famous and still live simply. True greatness shines through character, not through money or appearance. His story reminds us that awards and recognition are meaningful, but they are not the most important things. Curiosity, kindness, and a peaceful heart matter more. Einstein showed the world that a person can be both brilliant and gentle at the same time. So when we think about his fame and Nobel Prize, we should also remember his simple living. Because in the end, the greatest success of Albert Einstein was not only his science. It was the humble and human way he chose to live his life. Challenges, war, and courage. As Albert Einstein became more famous, life did not suddenly become easy or peaceful. In fact, new challenges began to appear. The world around him was changing quickly, and danger was growing in Europe. These difficult times tested his strength, his beliefs, and his courage. Einstein was born in Germany and loved his homeland, but the political situation there became very dark. A powerful and harmful movement began to rise. This movement was full of hate, especially against Jewish people, and Einstein was Jewish. Because of this, his safety was in danger. Books written by Jewish authors were burned. Many innocent people were threatened. Fear spread across the country. Einstein understood that staying in Germany was no longer safe. Leaving his home was a painful decision. He had spent many years studying, teaching, and building his life there. But sometimes courage means choosing safety and truth over comfort. He left Germany and moved to the United States, where he continued his scientific work. This was not just a change of place. It was a change of life. Starting again in a new country required strength and hope. During World War II, the world faced terrible destruction. Violence, loss, and suffering touched millions of lives. Einstein was a man of peace, and these events deeply troubled his heart. He believed science should protect humanity, not harm it. However, he also feared that dangerous leaders might build powerful weapons first. Because of this fear, he supported a warning letter to the American government about nuclear research. This was a very difficult moral moment for him. Later, when nuclear weapons caused great destruction, Einstein felt deep sadness. He spoke strongly for peace, global unity, and human responsibility. He encouraged leaders to avoid war and work together for the future of mankind. He used his fame not for power, but for protecting life. This shows true courage. Courage is not only physical strength. It is also the bravery to stand for peace when the world is full of conflict. Einstein's personal life also had struggles. Moving between countries, losing familiar places, and seeing human suffering created emotional pain. Yet he did not allow sadness to stop his purpose. He continued teaching, thinking, and speaking for a better world. His mind stayed focused on hope instead of fear. These years of war and hardship reveal an important lesson. Even the greatest minds face uncertainty, danger, and loss. Success does not protect a person from pain. But courage allows a person to keep moving forward. Einstein showed that strength comes from values, not from comfort. He chose truth over silence, peace over hate, and hope over despair. His story reminds us that difficult times can shape strong hearts. When the world becomes dark, brave voices become more important. Einstein's courage was not only in his science. It was in his humanity. He believed the future could be brighter if people chose wisdom and compassion. So when we remember Albert Einstein, we should remember more than his discoveries. We should remember the man who faced war with courage, fear with hope, and hatred with peace. His life teaches us that true greatness is measured not only by intelligence, but by the courage to protect humanity even in the hardest moments. Lessons from Einstein's life for our dreams. Albert Einstein's life is more than a story about science. It is a story about dreams, patience, and believing in yourself. From his quiet childhood to his worldwide fame, every part of his journey teaches us lessons we can use in our own lives. His path was not easy, yet he never stopped moving forward. This is why his life continues to inspire people of all ages. One of the biggest lessons from Einstein's life is the power of curiosity. As a child, he asked many questions about light, space, and nature. Even when teachers felt annoyed, he kept wondering and learning. This shows that asking questions is not a weakness. It is the beginning of knowledge. When we stay curious, our minds grow stronger and our dreams become clearer. Another important lesson is patience. Einstein did not become successful quickly. He struggled in school. He could not find a good job after graduation. He worked in a small patent office while the world ignored his ideas. Many people might have given up during such slow and lonely years. But Einstein continued thinking, learning, and believing. His success came later, proving that great dreams often need time to grow. Einstein also teaches us to believe in ourselves, even when others doubt us. Some teachers once said he would never achieve anything. If he had believed their words, history might have been different. Instead, he trusted his own curiosity and effort. This reminds us that other people's opinions do not decide our future. Our courage and hard work do. A beautiful lesson from his life is the value of simplicity and humility. Even after winning the Nobel Prize and becoming world famous, Einstein lived simply. He cared more about truth, peace, and humanity than about money or luxury. This teaches us that real success is not only about fame. It is about character, kindness, and purpose. Einstein's life also shows the importance of imagination. He believed imagination could open doors that knowledge alone could not. Many of his discoveries began as simple thoughts in his mind. He imagined riding on a beam of light or watching clocks move in space. These creative ideas later became real science. This tells us that dreams are powerful. When we imagine a better future, we take the first step toward creating it. Perhaps the most meaningful lesson is never giving up. Einstein faced failure, rejection, war, and sadness. Yet he continued to hope and work for a better world. His courage reminds us that problems are not the end of the story. They are part of the journey toward success. When we look at Einstein's life, we see proof that ordinary beginnings can lead to extraordinary endings. Quiet child became a voice heard across the world. A simple office worker changed human knowledge forever. This means our own dreams are also possible. So keep asking questions. Keep learning with patience. Believe in your path, even when it feels slow. Stay kind, stay humble, and never stop imagining. Just like Einstein, your dreams may start small, but with courage and hope, they can shine bright enough to change the world.